Brilliant summer sunshine bathed Serenity Shore's amusement park, casting a golden sheen on the twisting roller coaster tracks and the glittering dome of the storybook carousel. The air filled with bright laughter, blending with upbeat background music and the sweet scent of cotton candy and popcorn. Somewhere, the excited shrieks of children punctuated the rhythm of a thrill ride launching into the sky. A perfect day, seemingly made only for joy and laughter. Amidst the bustling crowd, Elena Reyes slowly maneuvered her specialized wheelchair along the brick pathway. In her mid-30s, her healthy, sun-kissed skin glowed, her hair neatly tied back under a wide-brimmed hat. Her pregnancy, now in its 7th month, coupled with strict medical orders due to high risks, required her to minimize walking. But Elena, with her inherent resilience, didn't want that to stop her from creating a special day for Mateo, her energetic 8-year-old son beside her. Mateo darted ahead, pointing excitedly, then circled back to grasp his mother's wheelchair handle, his eyes a mixture of explorative curiosity and a flicker of concern. He clutched a worn park map like a treasure chart, constantly marking off desired attractions. Mateo's energy seemed boundless. Elena smiled, her heart warming at her son's innocent joy. She had promised Mateo this trip for ages, and despite her doctor's warnings to be extremely careful, she was determined. Just one day, she told herself, one day to keep her son's world vibrant. David, her husband, would arrive later. As president of the city council, he was tied up in a critical urban planning hearing. His schedule was relentlessly packed. That morning, as he helped her settle into the van, Elena had reassured him. "I'll be fine. Focus on your work. I can get the access pass myself." She genuinely didn't want to bother him. David had, of course, offered to wait or personally escort her, but she waved him off. "Mateo is too excited," she explained. "Waiting longer might make him combust." So, here she was, back straight, trying to maintain composure, heading towards the entrance designated for guests needing special assistance. It was a quieter, separate path shaded by lush green trees, with a small service kiosk tucked near a vibrant flower garden. Elena retrieved a slim folder from her crossbody bag, doctor's confirmations, notes on her high-risk pregnancy, and the priority access permit. She didn't anticipate trouble, but experience taught her preparedness was wise. "Mom, will we make it to the giant wheel in time?" Mateo asked eagerly, eyes fixed on the towering ride in the distance. "Let Mommy get the pass first, honey. Then we'll see," Elena replied gently, trying to hide the fatigue already creeping in. As the kiosk came into view, so did a security guard. He was a large, middle-aged man, his beige uniform slightly strained, mirrored sunglasses hiding most of his face, revealing only a sweat-beaded forehead and a tightly pursed mouth that suggested impatience. His arms were crossed defensively over his chest. His name tag read Peterson. Elena felt a flicker of unease at his scrutinizing gaze and wary stance, but she quickly dismissed it. She just needed to get the pass. "Hello," she began in a soft, polite voice. "I'm here to collect an accessibility pass. I have all the necessary documents right here." Peterson didn't respond immediately. He stared at her through the dark glasses, his gaze sweeping from her face down to her visibly pregnant belly. "Are you sure you need this entrance?" His tone was thick with suspicion. "You look pretty healthy to me. Lots of people fake it." Elena froze for a second, taken aback by the rudeness and baseless judgment. Excuse me? She managed, keeping her voice steady. I am 7 months pregnant and have medical orders to limit mobility. Here are the doctor's papers. She held out the folder. Peterson glanced at it dismissively, then snorted. Papers are easy to fake these days. Who knows if you just rented that wheelchair to cut the line? Elena's patience began to fray. This isn't fake. This is my legitimate right according to the park's own policy. You are welcome to verify it. Mommy, why is he talking like that? Mateo tugged at her sleeve, his voice worried. It's okay, honey. Elena tried to soothe him, though her own voice trembled slightly. Peterson ignored them, raising his radio. Control, possible priority access abuse at Gate 3. Requesting verification backup. What are you doing? Elena couldn't believe it. I've provided everything. Why are you calling someone else? You haven't even properly checked the documents. My job is to ensure security, Peterson replied stiffly, a smug smirk playing on his lips. If you're clean, just wait. Why make a fuss? Elena took a deep breath, trying to quell the rising indignation. She knew she'd done nothing wrong, but the situation was becoming unreasonably tense. Around them, a few people started to notice, curious glances turning their way. Just then, a police car pulled up, siren off. A young, lean officer got out, adjusted his cap, and walked over. His name tag read Davis. What's going on here? He asked Peterson, his voice neutral. Peterson gestured towards Elena. This woman is demanding priority access. Looks suspicious. Might be faking papers to jump the queue. Officer Davis turned to Elena, his gaze as appraising as Peterson's. Ma'am, may I see your documentation, please? His tone sounded more professional, but the underlying suspicion was palpable. Elena handed over the folder. Davis took it, flipped through it cursorily for a few seconds, then handed it back. You look okay, he remarked. In a wheelchair, but doesn't seem too serious. Are you sure you aren't exaggerating things a bit to get special treatment? The words felt like a cold slap. I am 7.5 months pregnant with a high-risk condition. Her voice sharpened. I don't need to look serious to be respected and accommodated according to policy. Calm down. Davis raised an eyebrow. Why the strong reaction? Just asking. Because both of you approached me with preconceived notions, Elena stated plainly. You're blocking the entrance. Davis suddenly switched tactics, his voice hardening. I need you to move the wheelchair immediately. I am in the correct designated area for guests waiting for assistance, Elena protested. That's an order. Move it, Davis shouted, and without waiting for a response, he moved behind her, grabbed the wheelchair handles, and yanked it backwards sharply. The sudden movement jolted Elena, causing her to gasp and instinctively clutch her belly. Stop! What are you doing? She cried out, her voice cracking with shock and fear. Mateo burst into tears, clinging to his mother in terror. The officer's action drew immediate outrage from the onlookers. Hey, what are you doing? She's pregnant! Someone film this! Shouts erupted. Davis seemed momentarily stunned by the crowd's reaction, releasing the wheelchair handles. Ma'am, I need you to remain calm, he said, attempting to regain control. You're the one who needs to calm down, Elena shot back, trembling with anger and humiliation. You touched me. You touched my chair in front of my child. Amidst the chaos, Mateo, remembering his father's instructions, quietly stepped back, pulled out his small phone with shaking hands, and dialed his dad's number. "Daddy!" The boy sobbed into the phone. They're scaring Mommy! Come quick!" Just then, the crowd parted slightly as a sleek black sedan pulled up sharply at the entrance. The door opened, and David stepped out, impeccably dressed in a business suit. His sudden presence commanded silence. His eyes quickly scanned the scene, landing on Elena, pale in her wheelchair, and Matteo, frightened beside her. Then he fixed his gaze on the two uniformed men. Peterson and Davis froze, recognizing him instantly. No one expected the woman they were harassing to be the wife of the president of the city council. "Can someone tell me what the hell is going on here?" David's voice was low and cold, thick with controlled fury. "Why is my pregnant wife sitting here shaking and clutching her stomach while two uniformed men treat her like a criminal?" "Sir, Mr. President," Davis stammered, his face draining of color. "There's a misunderstanding. We didn't know." "Oh, so knowing who she is changes how you treat her?" David interrupted, his voice like ice. "She wasn't cooperating." Peterson tried to interject. "She presented her papers. You ignored them. She asserted her rights. You called it aggression," David stated clearly, gesturing to the phones recording everything. "Dozens of people here witnessed your disgraceful behavior. You've embarrassed yourselves." "They scared Matteo," Elena said softly, her voice laced with pain. "They touched me." David bent down, gently placing a hand on his wife's shoulder, then looked at his son. "It's okay, son. Dad's here now." He turned back to the two men, his voice devoid of any leniency. "Both of you are immediately relieved of duty. Park security will handle the rest." "You don't have the authority." Davis began to protest. "I have the authority and I am exercising it," David confirmed. The park's senior security team arrived at that moment, their faces pale as they took in David and the tense situation. They quickly moved to escort Peterson and Davis away as instructed. The crowd burst into applause. Elena took a long, deep breath, a wave of relief mixed with exhaustion washing over her. David stood beside her, a protective arm around her and their son. "This," he announced to the crowd in the recording phones, "will not end here." The story subsequently exploded online under hashtags like #OceansEdge Incident and #JusticeForElena. Videos of the encounter garnered millions of views, igniting widespread outrage and support for Elena. Ocean's Edge Park Management quickly issued a public apology, indefinitely suspended Peterson and Davis, and pledged a full review of their accessibility and anti-discrimination training protocols. David, using his position as city council president, demanded an independent investigation into Officer Davis's conduct and the private security firm employing Peterson. He also held a press conference where Elena, though still emotional, powerfully shared her experience, becoming a voice for many others who had faced similar mistreatment due to appearance or status. The incident became a focal point for discussions about implicit bias, abuse of authority, and the urgent need for systemic changes to protect the dignity and rights of all citizens, especially vulnerable individuals. Elena's story was no longer just about a terrible day at an amusement park. It was a stark reminder of the ongoing fight against injustice and the demand for basic human respect for everyone.